Welcome to another edition of Appeal to Judge Veal. Well, today we have something that is probably interesting to most of you. It kind of stinks a little bit, but I think that you'll understand when you hear both sides of the story. We have a complaining person about a dog and not having all these dogs all around and distracting everybody and distracting the land. So let's just hear what the plaintiff and the defendants have to say today. Hi, how are you?
Very good, Judge.
You want to tell us your name?
I am Mike.
Okay, Mike, you're the one that called and you said that you were upset about your dog being injured, but why don't you tell us what happened?
Well, I've just moved to the neighborhood and I let my dog out, take him for a walk. It's a big dog. And I just let him poop wherever he wants. I figure it's fine for the neighborhood, fine for the ground. It breaks down, works its way into the dirt. It is very much a good fertilizer. And my neighbor over there gets angry at me, complaining about the smell, complaining about the poop, complaining that I don't clean up after it. And then he put up this electrical fence and zapped my dog. And
wow.
I'm getting angry at that. The poor dog got so... It's just, the dog, she's not herself anymore.
Oh, okay.
She's just not herself.
You said it was good for the neighborhood. How was it good for the neighborhood?
Well, it's a good fertilizer.
Okay.
The stuff breaks down and you get a wonderful green spot right where that poop broke down and works its way into the lawn. And if you get enough of it around on the lawn, it breaks down, you get enough green spots. And if you get ahead of it, you can work it into the lawn, into the dirt. And it's a fertilizer that goes all over the place.
Oh, wow. Okay. How'd you feel about that, Mr. Defendant?
I think that last statement made me sick. Okay.
Tell us who you are and respond to some of the things that the plaintiff said.
Well, my name's Mac, and I've been living in the neighborhood for about 25 years. And Mike over here moved in a couple years ago. And he seems to be bringing his dog over to my tree doing his business. And I really don't like the aroma or anything like that. Mm-hmm. So I thought, I warned him like 2 or 3 times not to do it. Mm-hmm. Finally, he kept doing it. And I put an electrical fence on. And I kept that dog out doing that. He didn't do it anymore after that.
Well, that's right. Of course not. The dog got zapped so badly.
Was that a fence? Could he see the fence, or was it one of those invisible things?
It was an invisible fence.
Oh, wow. So he got zapped.
Yeah.
How'd you feel about the dog being injured?
Well, I felt bad. I'm against cruelty to animals, but I warned him a number of times. Mm-hmm. I don't like cleaning up that poop myself. Mm-hmm. And I've asked Mike to clean it up, to just take a bag, scoop it up, and put it in a bag and dispose of it.
He says it's
and
good.
That's it. I don't mind the dog pooping on my tree, but you just got to clean up after.
He says that it's good for the land.
I don't know.
Fertilizer.
It's a fertilizer, but you know what?
Yeah, but what are you growing though that you need fertilizer?
It's the grass. It's the land. It's just for everything around it.
Oh, I
but
don't know.
It brings flies. Oh, gosh.
Well, that's why, and I've seen him working in his garden. He can get out there with a trowel and work it down into the ground. That way the flies don't know where it's at.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, so does your dog poop on your part?
Your Honor,
Your side?
Your Honor,
Yeah.
we live in a suburban area.
Uh-huh.
And this isn't a farmland. We're not growing anything. I don't see why that poop is used as fertilizer.
He says it makes the grass green. That's what he said.
Well, I don't know.
Greener.
I don't know about that.
Isn't that what makes the soil richer?
Yes, it helps with the soil. When it rains, it spreads out. Mm-hmm. And it should help in making the yards even more green and more fertile. And just, it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
I know that I'm not supposed to prejudge anything, but maybe my facial expression is showing that I don't know if I want all that stuff around my tree. But my question was, do you have all that stuff around your tree? I mean, does he do it over there?
Well, I don't have a tree.
Well, do you have grass?
I've got grass, I take the dog out, it poops where it wants to poop.
Well, you know, there's one other thing, Your Honor. Dog feces, it attracts rats.
Rats.
And,
Oh, my.
and that's not a good thing.
My.
So there is a health concern with that.
Did you,
There are so
has
few
anybody
rats.
called the public health department? Anybody in the neighborhood call?
No.
I know you're kind of like the spokesman for all those other people that are kind of a little pissed off, right?
No, I'm not a whistleblower. I don't do that.
You don't. Well,
The rats, there are no rats in this neighborhood. They show up, they may show up for 2 minutes, they have a little bit of poop, they eat a little bit, they have some fun.
Well, if
They take off.
wait a minute, if I called the city, then I'd be a rat. I'd be a rat.
Exactly, so why don't I call the city on you?
for what? What did he do?
Then you'd be a
The
rat.
city, he's the rat.
You'd
Then
be a
I'm the
rat.
rat too, then we call the city on each other.
Wow.
Well, I thought putting in the electric fence would keep the feces out.
And it should keep the rats out too, but it's
Sure.
not keeping us out.
Yeah.
And it did some damage to my dog.
All right,
That
Your
poor
Honor,
dog.
can I ask you something, Your Honor?
Yeah.
If you dismiss this lawsuit against me, okay, can you put a restraining order against the dog and me?
I don't,
So
he didn't
that's-
nobody asked me to dismiss it, and I'm not sure that I could dismiss it. I mean, this is to me, this could be a public health
Sure,
issue.
sure.
You know, if you don't clean up after your own dog. I mean, I understand when people, you know, they love their dogs, or they love their pets, and they treat them like their children. You know, like he said, oh, I let them do whatever they want to do, just like people let their children do whatever they want to do. But, you know, you have to be concerned about other people.
But
That stuff can stink.
you want me to pick this up in a plastic bag? And put it in a plastic bag and then let it sit around forever in a plastic
No,
bag?
you can take
Plastic
it-
doesn't break down.
Well,
You can put it in a
yeah.
paper bag.
Well, not
You
yet.
can put it in a
right.
paper
Now
bag.
we're in that stage of saving, not saving plastic or not having plastic. Well, don't you have a brown bag, or can you put it
Paper
in
bag,
a?
lunch bag.
Put
like
it
a
in
lunch bag.
put it in a cloth, or do something, and just move it. And put it on, fertilize your lawn.
Oh, my lawn's as green as it is.
Can't get any more greener,
Can't
huh?
get any greener, no.
You know what, ladies and gentlemen? I think right now we're going to take a little break, and let me try to figure this out, because, you know, I really don't want to seem as though I am, you know, partial to one side, but my goodness, how would you feel if you had to have all that poop around your house and smell it? So we'll be right back. We're back, and I'm not sure if you heard it or not, but the phone was going off the hook. And when we were trying to answer them, you know, there were just some words that could not be used, so therefore we're not going to air that part of it. But, you know, I think that we have to come to some type of a resolution here so that everybody can live okay. Do you think you have a solution?
Well, I want to leave it out there. It's good for the environment. It's better than putting it in a plastic bag and it sits around forever.
Okay.
Even if it's buried in the trash, that plastic's going to be sitting there forever. Whereas if you leave it out in the lawn, it mellows out, goes down into the ground, becomes part of the environment, and helps everybody in the long run.
Okay, do you have a, because I think I have my own, but anyway, go ahead.
Well, I just don't want it on my property. I don't want it on my tree. I don't want it anywhere.
Well,
I
do
mean,
you-
it stinks. I have to deal with the aroma.
But do you
The,
think that
smell
you
of it.
have, because it was an invisible fence?
Yes.
And he didn't know that there was a fence there.
Yes.
Do you think you have any responsibility to the damages that he says his dog?
Well, I'm going to say that I don't, and the reason why is I warned him a few times not to do that on my property with the dog. And he continued to do that and trespass on my property and do that. So I think that he should deal with that consequence of what happened. I'm not saying that it's wrong or right to hurt a dog, but what I'm saying is that I warned him a number of times before I did something.
But you said nothing about the invisible fence.
Who?
You said nothing.
I didn't
about
say
the
anything
invisible
about it,
fence.
but I says, please don't do that on my property anymore, and I said that 2 or 3 times.
What kind of damages did you incur?
Well,
Or
there's
did your
about
dog incur, or you incur, you
a
know, as the
veterinary
owner?
bill
How much was that?
$2,500 veterinary bill. And this poor dog, she's just not herself anymore. She whines. I pull out the leash and she cringes. She doesn't want to go out walking anymore. That's another $2,500 in emotional distress. So I'm suing for $5,000.
Oh,
Well, I got a question. Did you take your dog to therapy? Where's the 2,500 coming from? Did you take the dog to any therapy to incur
Well,
that
I had
cost?
to have her.
evaluated.
Well, once I took her in for the initial shock, after she was shocked by your fence, the veterinary doctor said that she's just not going to be herself anymore.
Well,
She is just not the rough and tumble dog she used to be.
But there was no $2,500 cost incurred by any therapy, correct?
You want to see the bills?
oh, wow.
I'll
Well, I
bring
tell
the
you,
bills in if you wanna see those
this
bills.
is how we're going to resolve this. Let me tell you what we're going to do. First, okay, you say you have $2,500 to the vet, $2,500 for the emotional distress or whatever they have. And one thing, and I'm not saying that I'm a dog lover or not, you know, maybe you can tell if I am, or if I'm not, but you didn't have a little sign out there to say, to give him notice that there's an electrical fence, please stay away.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So, what I'm saying is that both of you are responsible. So you should be responsible for half of the vet bill. So you should be responsible for $1,250. Now, as far as the emotional distress or whatever, you can't tell me definitely that it was because he got stung or she got stung. You know, maybe there's some other reason. The dog can't tell me what reason it is, so.
You haven't seen her whining around and just lying there doing nothing, Your Honor.
But-
She's not the dog she used to
Well,
be.
make her the dog that she used to be. Go get her some gym lessons or something like that. You know, take her out to walk a little bit or get her a companion. Maybe that, you know, a dog companion, you know, maybe that would help. But both of these parties are not going to be happy with what I said. But I think it's fair that, you know, he takes care of the emotional problems that you have with the dog. You know, that's his business. But because you didn't put a little card out there to warn them that there's an electrical fence, you need to stay away, it's, you know, I find that he should be responsible for half of the vet bill. So that's today's edition of Appeal to Judge Veal. So we hope to see you next time.
Well, I felt that Judge Veal was fair. I didn't have a sign out, and it was kind of a cruel thing to do. Although I didn't want the dog to do that anymore, but I'm going to go ahead and pay for the vet bill, and I just hope that this is going to stop the pooping on my tree from now on. And that's really all I got to say. I hope it stops, and that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge Veal. Half of the vet bill, that's fine. But the dog is just not the same dog anymore. She's just lying around, taking up space, and something needs to be done to get her back to where she came from, so I would love to have some of that covered too. But still, half of the vet bill to take care of the damages from the electrical fence and making sure that a sign goes out so that people know that that fence is there. That's a good thing. So thank you, Judge Veal, for at least that much. That's a good thing.